This is Colourful Radio.
Our music, our news,
our views.
So that was the beautiful, beautiful Whitney Houston. And we are talking about self-acceptance with a focus on kindness. And I'm now joined on the phone with Robert Williams, who was the founder. Good morning, Robert. How are you?
I'm really good, thank you.
Brilliant. I'm so glad you could join us today. I do appreciate it.
Oh, sounds like fun.
So how did the kindness offensive idea come about?
Well, it came about, I figured out a way of getting stuff for free from big companies, purely out of necessity. And I had a moral ethic involved, and I couldn't tell a lie. And I created a little game out of it, really, so that tell everyone the truth, get them involved in the excitement of the whole event, and hopefully they would send what I needed. And the lads who formed the Kindness Offensive around this asked me to show them how this was done, and I gave them a bit of a demonstration one day. And to finish off the demonstration, I gave them a phone book and said, pick a number out of here, and they picked the number for a local pizza place. And I called up, and I spent about 10 minutes on the phone speaking to the people at the pizza place, following the instructions that I'd given them in an hour lesson before, and they sent a free pizza. And this it really blew their minds, and they started trying to get more free things, and it took them a little while to get caught up. And it'd be funny because I'd get a call from home, and they'd say, well, we're having a really hard time with this, how do we do it? Or sometimes I'd go over to their house and I'd sit on the sidelines and try and do hand signals to get them to get it right, because there is definitely a technique to it. And they decided, because they had all these things coming through the door. I remember a massage chair, fish tank, all kinds of different things that you wouldn't expect to have in the little cottage that they were in, to the point where they were having a hard time moving around in it. And they decided to see whether or not they could do something for other people, and whether there was anything to the idea that doing stuff for other people was in fact a good thing. And they went out on Hampstead Heath, and they just asked people, what could we do for you? Dressed up as a kindness offensive. They had the outfits, the helmets and the day-glow jackets on to try and disarm people a little bit and not frighten them away. And I remember the idea was to do one of these things, and they had 18 people respond and asking for things, and they decided to try and do the most difficult one first, and that was a birthday party for 11 children. And from a father who was having a difficult time that year putting a birthday party together. And after making a few calls, they got on to the Moscow State Circus, and the Moscow State Circus decided to give them the circus for the day. And they were so they trained with the circus performers in the morning, the jugglers, the trapeze acts, the high wire with ropes on and falling into nets and all the rest of that sort of stuff. And then they had a special performance in the afternoon. And I think we all realized at that moment in time that we were on to something, because the joy that was being shared from all those people and the excitement, I can still feel it now when I think about it. It was absolutely amazing. And we got addicted to it. We thought it was a lot of fun. We're able to actually give people something that they would like. And you see a smile on their face, and it's rare that you have that experience. We're always taught in life that, we have to buy things and we shouldn't give things away, and this was something that was out of the ordinary, but extraordinarily beautiful, a really wonderful thing.
So Robert, this is Rachel, life coach here. I was looking on your website earlier, and I loved it. I just loved the essence of what the work that you're doing about. And I just want to ask you, so given that you realised that you could get everything from a free pizza through to that you could get Moscow State Circus for this kid's birthday and so on, tell us, what is the aim of the project? Because I can see that there's magical things that you're doing. What is the aim? What is the objective here?
I guess the objective of the Kindness Offensive is just to promote kindness, very much in the way that John Lennon promoted peace. And have fun doing it. A lot of times when you mention volunteering to someone, especially young people, they go, oh yeah, or they'll go and do it, but they'll feel like, well, I've really done something good today, but they don't really enjoy it. So I think our goal is to actually promote kindness as a fun thing to do. It's a bit of a sport. We got to a point where we'd be sitting around the table and we'd see who could get the biggest thing to give away that day, or who could make the best person's dream come true that day.
Oh, wow.
And actually competing with each other to see, as we're making phone calls, to see who would actually make this person's dream come true as a competitive sport. So I guess, in brief, the answer is to have fun and promote kindness. Promote it in a way that doesn't feel like you're taking something away from yourself. It's actually a privilege to be able to do something nice for someone. It's actually an opportunity that we shouldn't miss.
Brilliant. So who's involved in the project, and what sort of projects do you work on?
Oh, there are thousands of people involved now. It's gotten very big. One of the big projects that we've done recently, we did 10,000 toys for children at Christmas.
Wow.
It was pointed out to us by Boris Johnson's office that there were a lot of children who didn't have a toy, never mind for Christmas, but just full stop. And we found this hard to believe, and he pointed us in the direction of areas where there are children who just don't get toys. As well, there are a lot of children in hospital over Christmas, children's homes, orphanages. And over the last 4 years, we started doing this in a small way. It's gotten bigger and bigger. And this year we were able to give a toy to every child in hospital, every orphanage in London, a lot of the children's plans where they have children being looked after so the parents can work a bit later, what they're calling latchkey kids, so they've got a place to go to as well. And it's just that's been one of the things. And for that we had Hasbro stepping in with the Toy Trust, helping us to get lots of toys. And all really nice toys as well, so people get the right impression. Value-wise, I would say from £7 upwards to £100 each.
Brilliant.
Well, I mean, it's just amazing. I was just thinking, Robert, we often don't hear about wonderful good news stories like this. We don't hear it, but it happens all the time. I wonder, what kind of feedback have you heard? What kind of things have people been saying to you about these acts of kindness and the impact it's had on them?
Well, we get a lot of people that are just really surprised. It depends on the mode that we use. And we sometimes do a sightseeing tour. We have a double-decker bus, which we won in a competition. And we've converted into a 50s diner inside. And we sometimes take that round with about 30 people in it to landmark places like Trafalgar Square and get out and actually give things to people. And I think the majority of people are just really happy for the attention, and they're happy to see something nice happening. There are some who are frightened away, and you can see they're just not used to the fact that you're giving them something, or they want to know what you want in return.
Yeah. And
we don't take donations from the public at all, ever. We just get things from big companies, so there is no catch. When you're given something by the Kindness Offensive, you literally can walk off with it and enjoy it, share it, do whatever you like.
Oh, that's brilliant. Now, research says that being kind is beneficial to your mental and emotional being. As you're always constantly giving, you must be permanently walking on sunshine. But seriously, are there any benefits? Have you seen any benefits from giving?
I only do it because of the benefits, to be honest.
Wow.
It's one of these things that I don't feel that it's all that kind to sacrifice yourself and do things that you don't like doing. I really enjoy it. I really have a good time. I remember certain little moments in time, and if listeners go onto our website, it's thekindnessoffensive.com, and have a look at some of the videos. There are moments, like there's a moment you may find when you're leafing through them where I give a little pink guitar to a little girl in hospital. And we don't often get to see the children that get the toys, because it's not the sort of thing that, we don't want to film them and all the rest of that and embarrass them. So we have this stuff delivered, or we deliver it to their door, and the nurses at the door take it and they give it. And we tell the nurses to tell them that it's from them. And we don't often get to see it. But occasionally a hospital will set up a photo shoot for us. Wow. And they'll make it possible for us to actually speak to the children. And on a couple of occasions, it's just been the smile on a child's face that has just really made it. And you go home feeling like you're walking on sunshine. You do really feel, or wake up Christmas morning and you realize that there are 10,000 kids out there that are opening toys that you helped make possible. But we couldn't do it with all the volunteers and all the big companies and all the people that cooperate. And they see us with an idea and they make it a reality. They actually send 18-wheeler lorries full of toys.
Wow.
It's absolutely phenomenal to see when it arrived. The first time it happened to us, it took 5 hours to unload because we didn't have any of the pump trucks or any of the stuff we were supposed to have at the other end. And the guy was patiently waiting. And that was really good.
So Robert, before you go, I want to ask a last question. This is really important because there's magic that you've seen in the work that you're doing, which I so applaud you for doing. But there are those people who say, you can't really make a huge impact on lots of the issues that really count, and you can't really make things happen. What do you say to those people who don't think that you can make an impact on your world or the wider world? What do you say to those people? Do you know it's possible?
Well, I'd have them have a look at the Everyday Kindness Awards that we did. We actually set up scenarios where actors were pretending to have a difficult time going up some stairs with a heavy package, picking up papers that they dropped on the floor, attempting to find their way with a map and having a difficult time. And within a few minutes, people would actually come and help. And we would pop out from hiding places and sing for He's a Jolly Good Fellow, we'd give him a bottle of champagne and some flowers, and the gold medal that was made by the same people that made the Chinese Olympic medals, made in exactly the same style. And to answer your question, some of those people have got back to us. We ran into one just last week, and her life was really affected by the whole thing. And in the process of what we've been doing, we've fed over 2 million people. Now, we're just 4 people who started something in a living room. And yet we've managed to supply food for over 2 million people. So that's a difference. That's a difference. Some of those people that got those meals, it saved their lives. Some of those people, they got those meals, it was during the winter when they might not have gotten a meal. The soup kitchens were running low, and they came to us and said, look, because of the refugee problem that's happening, and a lot of people, they can't work, the refugees and asylum seekers, and they also can't claim any benefits, so they rely on the soup kitchens, and they were going dry. And we supplied 39 tons of food in one day. So that makes a difference. There is no question in my mind that made a difference. When you're having to unload that sort of thing, when it takes you from 7 in the morning till 11 at night to get this stuff into vans so that all these charities can supply it to individual people, there's a lot of people eating there. And I think that anyone who tries to do something, if they genuinely try with a good heart, they'll succeed. And I think that if we can inspire one other person to do these things as well, that's fantastic. But as it is, we have made a difference. I'm convinced of that.
I'm actually blown away. I've just been aware that as you've been talking, I keep saying wow. Because I'm actually blown away by just how much you guys have done, and the fact that it started with 4 people who just had an idea, and how it's just extended so much, touching so many people's lives and affecting people in so many positive ways. Robert, I think it's absolutely amazing. And thank you so much for sharing what you guys do with me today. I do appreciate it. And just before you go, every Sunday I speak about Appreciation Sunday, which is just a day to reflect on what you appreciate and what you're grateful for in the moment. So before I let you go, I would like to know what you appreciate today.
Well, what I'd like to say and what I appreciate is all the people that have joined in on these projects that we presented, and all these people that have made it possible. And I very much appreciate the people who nominated me to be one of the 100 people on the Independent's Happy List this year. That was a beautiful honor to be part of that. And everyone out there, you know who you are. The people, when we phoned you up and we've said, listen, we need several tons of food, and you haven't turned us away. You've said, okay, can you handle that in 1 lorry or 2? And you've actually sent it out, and we've been able to supply it. You are the ones that make this possible. You're the ones who do this, and you're the ones we appreciate very, very much. We could not do this on our own, but because of the kindness in people's hearts that are in a position that can actually do something, we've been able to accomplish wonderful things, and it's really, the thanks goes to them, and they're the ones that get the credit, because they've done such a fantastic thing here. It's unbelievable. We are blown away.
Oh, Robert, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it, as I said before. And guys at home, if you want to find out more about The Kindness Offensive, you can go to the website, which is at thekindnessoffensive.com. Robert, have a very lovely day.
Thank
you.
And
I'm sure I'll catch up with you soon.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Take care.